is the type of girls, right? I mean, Dr. Evil, last week you explained to me, the type of girls, let's say I don't want to go too singular on this, but the type of girls that you've seen, most of them have been let's just be fucking honest, less hoish than most girls that I get introduced to. Same with you, Hector,
Yep.
right? I would 100% put money that the girls that you invest to are you've calculated this.
Yep.
You've looked at this. You've rubbed your mustache a couple times thinking about the fucking calculations as
Listen,
you're
man,
as you're
I
doing right
call-
now.
I do,
right?
yeah.
As you're doing right now. So yeah. Taking it old school, baby.
We're back. For
Yours
another-
truly.
Another week.
That's right, man. We got everything going on this week, man. This week's been hella eventful,
It's
right?
been a lot, man.
Yeah, where'd
been-
you go, dude?
Fucking Vegas.
Damn, son. How was that, dude?
Fucking tiring, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I got home. I barely slept.
Damn.
So I got home like Thursday evening.
Thursday evening.
Yeah, there were some issues like the airport leaving. Like there was like, I went for a big.
How many Karens did you see while you were going there?
Not as bad as I thought.
How many come back?
No, I meant like I went for a work convention. So
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
there was like 30,000 people that went down to Vegas just for this thing.
The reason I say because like your industry of job, I would imagine there'd be a lot of Karens.
It's a lot of dudes, man.
Yeah, that's true.
so
Mechanical,
many dudes.
Mechanicals.
Yeah,
mostly
'cause, like,
dudes.
this-
no.
Not only
girls
that,
like
but this
going
this was a mining convention, right? And it's
Oh.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude.
And it's like the biggest mine convention in the world. It's
a
every
lot
4
of
years.
Dodge Longhorns in the
Dude,
fucking parking lot.
so many, and like there were 18 or 20 planes trying to get out at the same time
Jesus
of
Christ.
McCarran International right before we were getting out, so we had to wait. We were stuck on the fucking tarmac, and I'm hung over in my chair. I just fucking went to sleep. But
Fuck it.
getting back home was crazy too because they made a circle
Yeah.
because there was no space for us to land, so there's like delays both ways.
Fuck.
But anyways, we're here.
We're here. We're queer, and we're ready to go, man.
We're
Call that
gonna
motherfucker
Call our boy.
up.
All right,
We're gonna call our boy
doctor.
fucking Dr. fucking Evil. You know what I'm saying? Talk to this motherfucker. And see. Okay, man. Let's go into it heavy first. You ready for a heavy subject, Dr. Evil, or what?
I mean, it'd be better to start light, but okay.
Okay, let's start light. Let's
Let's warm him up, man. Don't just like
okay,
fucking
okay,
go
okay,
in for
okay,
it.
okay.
It's motherfucker.
So,
man.
is that how
you
let's-
treat your women too? You just fucking go in for it?
Yeah, bro, you're either in or you're out.
That's
what
disgusting.
it is. It's either insertion or I'm just paying for fucking nothing. Listen,
Yeah.
speaking of paying for nothing, do you know when we're all single, right? We're ultra masculine. You know what I mean? We have more masculine tendencies. And then once we're starting to date somebody or see somebody, however serious it may be, it kind of brings in some things that we do that when we were single, we would say, man, I would never fucking do that.
Harmon, you've actually mentioned this before in another podcast. Something about tend to get soft. I remember you mentioning that actually.
Absolutely. Dr. Evil, I want you to think about this because I want you to see where I'm going with this. So me personally, I'm like super high-esque testosterone, super high, or I tend to try to be as alpha and as dominant as I can. Now,
Yeah.
when I go into a relationship though, dude, the older I get, the closer I stay within those original single guidelines. But however, there has been times where I have been, I wouldn't say desperate, but I've done things like I've spent money on a first date that I was like, man, I shouldn't have fucking spent that money, man. What the fuck did I do? Do you know what I mean? Or I'd make like exceptions. Like I'd be like, okay, well, I wouldn't date a girl that dresses a certain way. And then eventually I'll date a chick that dresses like a hoe. And I'll go against my certain beliefs because of time constraints and how accessible it is to get that pussy or girl.
What about like how you've acted once you start getting into a relationship with the girl? Because you just mentioned like I always want to be the most alpha.
Yeah.
All this like shit. That's great.
No, I go super soft. Super soft.
Super
because,
soft or
oh,
just like
dude,
a bit soft?
Dude, like the younger I was, the softer I was.
Okay, but I mean like in your advanced stage, even though it's not really advanced.
Now
you're
it's like I try to stay.
you're like
I try to
26 in
snap
Arabian
myself
years.
out. I try to snap myself out of it. this guy's putting up fake info out there. 28 or 35. Get the fuck out of
It
here.
depends which government you ask.
Yeah. if you're asking the IRS, listen, I'm 27. So anyway, I would go soft. I would, you know, fuck around and go against my original beliefs, and then I would feel bad about it, man. I would feel like I'm going, you know, I'm not staying true to who I am, and most of the breakups would be because of that. I'd feel like I'm not who I am anymore. I don't have the same happiness, because who I am makes me happy. When I go against it and make like sacrifices for a certain somebody, I'm no longer myself. I'm outside of myself, and that's fake, and that's not me. I'm just making all these justifications for this person where they wouldn't make it for me regardless, right? Because girls, they don't chase, right? They get all the attention. We men, we're the hunters. We chase. So we get all the negatives and most of the positives if we're high value enough. So
Doctor, that you notice changing yourself when you get into relationships in general.
do you get softer? Do
girl-
you get more emotional? What's going on?
Not only that, but like anything else. Try things that you didn't before. Fucking do things you didn't before. You know what I mean? Like, just, are there any like?
Like, I'll tell
noticeable-
you one thing. A long time ago, you told me you would never do acid, and if you did acid, you'd do it with a certain girl.
I'd
I don't,
probably do acid now, but yeah.
but you know what I'm saying, right? That
Yeah.
changed you. Whether if I came up to you and said, "Hey, let's do acid together," like 5 years ago, if I told you, "Hey, let's do acid together,"
Fuck
you'd
no.
probably be like, "Fuck you," right? But because this girl came at you with a certain notion, that kind of changed your mind over time, and obviously age changes you as well. So that's where I'm trying to go with this.
Yeah, it's not surprising if you're in a relationship, you're maybe less aggressive, more patient.
Do you feel like
Things
you're less?
tend-
Do you feel like you're less logical?
More impulsive, you can put it that way, yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was
Yeah,
trying
so
to
you
go.
might have plans for things that normally you'd have a strict routine that you could follow. And then
What
I
do
mean,
you think
I
the
see this
reason?
right now.
What do you think the reason for that is? Why do you think you're more impulsive? Like what is it about
Well,
a girl
you
that
know,
brings that impulsive side of you out?
it's all emotions, man. It's it.
But why do you stoop to her? Why doesn't she rise to you? Do you do you
Why is it stooping?
Yeah.
Yeah, why does it have to be stooping? I don't understand.
because you're supposed to be the rock.
Why? Why can't you be impulsive?
Because you're the stable-minded, non-hormonal human.
I don't understand. So guys can't be impulsive?
In comparison to women, not as much.
You have an interesting take on what impulsive and the connotations behind that mean towards people.
What is impulsive in this sense?
Jumping
to
out
you?
of a fucking plane. Let's go right now. That's super fucking impulsive. Like let's just go tomorrow morning. Let's go to Whistler bungee jump.
I think there's two sides of impulsive.
Two? There's probably a lot.
No. In the retrospect of this conversation, impulsive as far as doing risky maneuvers, as far as physical risk, men take that, right? More deaths, more suicides, more people in.
But I mean the
in-
fact of like we're doing it tomorrow,
Seriously.
not in like yeah, it's fucking weird. Not in like if someone is super logical and they did a whole like risk calculation, like okay, I'm okay with jumping out of a plane, but
Right.
I want to take 5 courses. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do
Right,
that.
right,
I'm gonna
right.
do that. I'm gonna do that.
You-
Versus somebody who's
Okay.
like, no, fuck it, we're doing it next week.
So let's take an
the guy-
average.
The guy-
I feel like I understand what this guy's getting to with his question. It's just,
It's poorly worded. Let me
well-
let me say it like this. To me, impulsive is this notion. If you are a neutral party and you are getting influenced by men and male energy, you're going to be more impulsive as far as taking risk physically. Whereas when you're more affected by female energy and you're a neutral male, you turn into more feelings, more emotions. And generally, with men in a relationship, you go towards the feelings and you get more soft. And that could be a balance. But for me personally, from all my experience, it's always been my downfall. The emotions were always a downfall. If I never had emotions in a relationship, I'd be much more productive in life and just relations. Aside from that girl, outside of that girl, in the relationship, I'd just be more thought out than if I was impulsive and emotional. And that does, girls do bring that out of you, right? They bring that out of you. But it's up to you as a stable male to be like, okay, to what point am I going to be impulsive with this girl? Am I going to go downtown and spend $800? Or am I going to be, not, you know what I mean? At what point do you stop that impulse? Because I think what you guys are talking about is much more fair impulsive, not as intense as I'm talking about. Whereas certain girls, you'll meet them and you have to match their level, or if you're as desperate, some guys will match their level and end up fucking emptying their bank accounts.
I mean, yeah, those examples aside, with all this, the money stuff aside, I think in general, if you want to be as efficient as possible and objective oriented, and usually in a work capacity, then yeah, it's easier just to let emotion affect you as little as possible. I think that's why a lot of these business types, they tend to have a reputation for being, sort of stone cold, ruthless types. But then the flip side of that is it's just much nicer in life to have a balance, right? It doesn't even have to be just girls, and it's not even the guy-girl thing. I mean, you'll meet girls that are like this. They're extremely systematic and not impulsive, and they'll come off as cold. So it's not like exclusively a male-female thing.
Would you say those girls have more masculine energy?
Yes, I mean they keep themselves in check, but then you could say that in some ways they don't get to enjoy many of the fruits of life because at times you live like a machine, which can be great for work and advancing in life in terms of I don't know if your position in your socioeconomic position, jobs and money and security, but then you can be eventually you can become kind of void of good personality traits if you let it run rampant.
Hector, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Well, like what our boy over here said in terms of balance, I don't think that.
You guys are a bunch of fucking jugglers, man. You guys are all about balance.
Yeah, that's what life is juggling. You're fucking doing it right now with your school, with your work, with your fucking second job, with your this, with the dog, with the you're in a fucking constant state of juggling your entire life all the time.
But the stable mindset makes me understand that I can't be emotional and I can't be vulnerable in that way. Whereas you guys are like, okay, well, that's a balance. You could have that balance. I'm saying if you want to be as efficient as possible as a man between 18 to 35, you can't have that. Those are all distractions. The benefit,
I would say that's more or less true. But then you end up removing those things, and
the benefit of getting that girl is, to me, is just box, and by box, Dr. Evil, I mean pussy, right? It's just box, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
now you guys might be different, and I respect that. But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to be as efficient as possible, you're trying to get to 6 figures, you're trying to get to a certain point of life, that box is going to hinder you between the ages of 18 to 35. Period.
I've heard of guys talk like this, and every time they do, it strikes me as a bit odd because I don't understand what the goal here is in terms of what you're chasing in terms of like ultimate fulfillment. And I get that maybe with some guys, their idea of fulfillment excludes some avenues. Don't interrupt me. Excludes some avenues of life that other people do want. I get that. So there are some guys who say, my most efficient life is going to be I'm going to do this, and this. I want to make an X amount of dollars by this age. I want to rise to this position in my company or have my own company with its own whatever. They have a bunch of these like very written down goals that are quantifiable and that are achievable because they got a plan behind it and all these things, which is great. And then these guys will continue that conversation. Will say, you know what? In this idea of like fulfillment and all these goals that I want to achieve and all that, it will exclude these things. So I'm not really going to concern myself with, like you said, relationships. I'm not really going to concern myself with distractions in general. So I'm not going to be drinking. I won't be smoking. I won't be doing drugs. I'm going to limit my TV time. I'm going to limit my distraction and entertainment time because I want to focus on these things.
Right.
So, I'm going to keep going to the gym because I need that for my physical body to stay in shape, to perform at its highest level. But with a lot of these guys, the way that they come across, to me, like our boy here said earlier, it just ends up seeming a bit void and robotic because you're taking away, this is my personal opinion.
Okay.
When you start taking away all those other extra things, the distractions, the pleasures, the entertainments, all these things, and women fall with this too, with like the pleasure side of things, right? Yeah. To me, I almost look at it like, what the fuck's the point? Like, yeah, that's great. Maybe I could have gotten to this... I could have gotten that position, this company, or I could have gotten this amount of money that much earlier.
Right.
But I'm gonna fucking miss out on having all these extra things when I'm younger for what? Just so I can say that I was like a millionaire at 55 instead of 65, or to say that I was CEO at 40 instead of 40. You know what I mean? Like
I understand.
For me, that benefit that it brings is not enough. However, if someone said, "Yo, Hector, listen, right now you're handcuffing yourself. Like you are severely limiting yourself to your truest potential because you got so many things weighing you down.
Right.
You're spending too much time going out with your boys. You're spending too much time going home, drinking, watching TV. You're spending too much time trying to get girls,
Right.
being with girls.
Okay.
Spending too much time doing X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, okay, you know what? You might be right. You might be right. I might be doing too much. I might be
Right.
distracting myself too much, and now I'm severely incapacitating my productivity side of things.
Okay.
I'm willing to take on those people that, or sorry, I'm willing to accept that kind of take on my life. If people come across me like, yo, bro, listen, I need to sit down with you. I've been seeing some issues. So that's where it comes back to that balance. Where I'm like, I don't want to fucking just full on, whatever, plow 100% efficient because it's to me personally, it's just not worth sacrificing these additional things that I enjoy doing in life because there's no need for me to hit these things early because I don't see the benefit in doing some of these things earlier because I will still get them. I just won't get them. Maybe you're right. I won't maybe get them at 40. I'll get them later on at 45 or at 50 or whatever. But I'm still gonna get them. So I don't see the benefit in sacrificing these other things.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my take on it.
Now, can I poke a couple of holes in that?
Poke whatever you want. Just don't use your dick for it.
Listen, I'm gonna use just cock for this.
Oh Christ.
A few things I want to say. You say this is going to be 40-45. I think it's much more significant than that. And I don't think we have actually the numbers that I could be like, okay, well, if I talk to girls and I have a life outside of my goals, I'm going to get there at 45 versus, you know, if I don't do that and I have no distraction, I'm going to get there at 40. I think that's it's not really thought out to say it's going to be only 5 years or 10 years.
I threw out numbers.
I
as
understand.
examples.
I understand. But my point is that we don't know. We simply don't know for me to say yes or no. So there's that. Aside from that, as you said, it's subjective. So your goals of you getting to a certain point is going to be different than mine. Therefore, it's different. Also, another thing, you're a very logical guy. Dr. Evil, you're also a very logical guy. So for you guys to sway outside of your character might be less than somebody like me because I've taken more risks that are not the best return on investment compared to you guys. So if you're trying to give advice to guys that are sensible like you, 100%, what you're saying is probably closer to the reality of their life and what they're going to face versus guys like me that are like super heavy extreme on dealing drugs, doing illegal shit,
Sure,
and then trying to turn that around. I think guys like me have a lot less time than you because we are not as stable as far as, you know, I didn't go to school. You already finished school. Dr. Evil, you're pretty much done school, right? You know what I mean? So like you guys have been neutral and stable minded for so long.
More so than you. Yeah,
more so than me.
That actually makes that's actually a very good point because I didn't even consider that in that whole of what I just said. That actually makes a lot of sense because if I take that into consideration, then yeah, there's going to be people like you,
Yeah.
right? That
I would say
basically-
most people are
Even
like
if-
basically
Time for
boils it. Yeah, I
development.
was just gonna say basically boils down to just not having time to waste because
Yeah.
they've already done a bit of that time wasting,
Yeah.
maybe a bit too much earlier on.
exactly.
So I get that. If,
Yeah.
if that's if you feel that's your personal situation and you need to be like, listen, I've had a lot of these things already,
Yeah.
and I really just don't want to continue to waste my time
Right.
getting that.
Last point I want to put in there is the type of girls, right? I mean, Dr. Evil, last week you explained to me, you know, the type of girls, let's say, I don't want to go too singular on this, but the type of girls that you've seen, most of them have been, let's just be fucking honest, less hoish than most girls that I get introduced to. Same with you, Hector,
Yep.
right? I would 100% put money that the girls that you invest to are you've calculated this.
Yep.
You've looked at this. You've rubbed your mustache a couple times thinking about the fucking calculations as
Listen,
you're
man,
doing right now.
I do,
right?
yeah.
As you're doing right now. So I think that, you know, another variable would be the type of girls. So you guys are surrounded by a certain type of girls versus most guys, the average guy working a 9 to 5, he's going to go downtown, he's going to go spend a bunch of money, and those types of girls aren't going to be as efficient as your guys' experience with the type of girls that you are dealing with. So the return on value for you guys might be much more from a certain girl that you guys are dealing with versus the average man that's out there in Vancouver dealing with these type of girls. Because let's be honest, man, here Vancouver is probably like what, third or fourth most expensive cities in the world.
It's up there.
You're gonna get a bunch of gold diggers once you go out, right? You're gonna go to these big establishments. You're gonna spend a bunch of money. You're gonna attract. Those places attract a certain type of girl, and it's not, honestly, it's not the nerdy type of girl that you want to have as a wife. It's more the type of girl that you want to fucking chuck.
One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was, don't ever look for a girlfriend in a bar. Ever. The kind of girls you meet at the bar, you meet at the club, are not girls you want to continue to be with.
Damn fucking straight, dude. Damn fucking straight. Dude, listen, what do you know? Tell me what you know. You say you don't know, right? Speak on it.
It depends on the person. I mean, as a rule of thumb, I guess, yeah, on average that works.
Well, it's
On a
it's
balance
more,
of probability, I would say Hector's right.
it's not a 100% thing, but it's just more of like, it was like, kid, this is my general advice. Don't look for a serious relationship from a girl that you meet when you guys are both smashed like 6 drinks in. That's not the kind of girl you want to
For
be.
sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
you
dude.
you will have your outliers, right? Like,
Fuck yeah, dude.
like you'll have these groups of girls that come in, and obviously there's bound to be one or two that are like girls, you know, nice normal girls that are totally fine introducing your parents or whatever. If this is the kind of girl you're looking for in general, then yes, you are bound to find some girl who's like, you're gonna find a very wide variety of women when you go out on the night of the town. However, when you are putting yourself in certain environments, if everybody's choosing to go to this environment for the similar kind of reason, so if you're going to the club to get drunk and dance and maybe snort some blow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the kind of person that's looking to do that is probably not in the mindset of, you know, stability and normalcy, in the sense of not going and getting smashed. Like, if a girl's getting smashed 3 nights out of the week,
Yeah.
is that really a girl you want to be in a relationship with? Probably not. Same goes for the guy, though. Like, if a girl sees a guy and he's getting smashed 4 nights out of the week, what the fuck kind of, like, you know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah. I'll give that a
Christ. You know what I mean? So,
Dr. Evil. We got sound effects now.
yeah, we upgraded. We put heavy investment into our production value here.
You should get that sound effect that they play in the like Little John rap videos, the air horn.
Oh, we got that. Hit him hit him with it. You had it.
Hold on.
Three. Fucking guy. Can you like hit it a bunch of times and then it like? Okay, yeah, Christ.
That's right, dude. Let's move along, okay? I think.
Is that still like the easy stuff? Remember at the beginning? You're
Yeah.
Right.
The concept of finding subjects is very hard, because I try to find subjects that are gonna amuse you, but also that you can speak on, because we know for sure there's some subjects that you don't want to speak on. That's facts.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak on that too much. I feel like my anecdotal experience is not that relatable.
I would say very relatable. I mean, dude, me and you kind of almost think the same, and we're totally different sides of
Yeah, but like
the
these
maps.
people are talking about going out 3 nights a week and doing coke and stuff.
Listen, remember that chick from Turkey? What the fuck was that, dude? That was one of these hoes, man. What are you talking about? This guy
I have no
acting
idea.
like he never
Who are you
fucked any
talking
hoes. I know exactly, dude. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly. Girl was doing fucking Molly and coke and fucking telling you to fucking
Oh
lick
yeah,
her
no,
ass.
no, no.
Get the fuck out of here! This guy's acting like he's never fucking talked to any.
Because he
of these
erased
chicks.
it from memory. It's gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Never
Yeah,
happened.
Yeah. Back to the fucking lab with Dr. Evil, man. Fuck out of here. Let's go into something more serious, man. So, of course, we know that police brutality is a major problem in the States. Now, with the huge pipeline, I don't know how much you've looked into it, Dr. Evil, but there's a fair bit of police brutality going on against...
This is the old... Actually, this is one of our viewers, actually, messaged us about this. But it's...
yeah, give him a shout out. What's his fucking name?
His name's Austin.
Austin. Shout out to Austin,
Shout
dude.
out to Austin. He's actually changed his profile to kind of what this is talking about,
Yeah.
which is Save Old Growth BC is his new handle.
Yeah, shout out to that. Check him out on Instagram. But basically, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, sure. I'll give a quick thing where there's people have talked about. It got viral for a few months ago when you guys remember that photo that was circulating over the internet and the news where there's this gigantic, huge fucking log being put on a truck and then someone took a photo of it on the highway. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
I've seen it.
Right. Okay. So that's when this whole thing got kind of viral. The whole like Save Old Growth BC and all that stuff.
Yeah.
People only cared about it for a bit, but the people who are the quote unquote the true activists, they've been at this since that thing basically went viral. So I have a buddy of mine who is actually there at the blockades, the protests, the whatever you want to call it, and I think it's called it's not Furry Creek. It's like Old Ferry something. We got to look up the name so we don't fuck this up. But there are a few, and I think the one that he's at is the main one, protests going on where they're trying to, some citizens of BC are trying to prevent the logging of these old growth trees, like 100-year-old trees that, shouldn't be touched, these gigantic ones and all that stuff. They've been there for so long that they're now starting to get removed here and there, and it looks, I've seen the videos that have you seen some of them?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Yeah, right?
Looks like a bald, it's like fucking somebody going bald. As far as fucking forestry, it's insane.
No, but I meant like to see like the videos of them like removing the protesters and shit. Like,
oh,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
Have I ever?
Yeah, exactly. So there's videos that my friend's actually been in, where him and his friends are getting like dragged through the like dirt. They're literally on these like old log and like provincial like the Forest Service roads. They're there and they're basically planted there, and then the cops eventually are like, all right, you guys gotta get the fuck out now. And they're like pulling them, and
because they basically are stopping the construction work. That's what's really going on, and they're at a point where it's like, okay, well, do we have to deal with profits or a thing? So it raises the question. Sorry to cut between.
No, that's good because it adds to kind of the explanation. So I don't know, Vic, if you've seen any of this stuff going on at all, but when our boy messaged us about this, he's like, hey, can you talk about this for a bit? He was talking about it obviously within the context of this thing going on, but in general, he was asking us to talk about the idea of Canada embracing exactly becoming a police state.
Yeah, police state,
more
just like the states.
Just like the states,
especially like mid-U.S. Like we're talking, Ohio, these places, Louisiana, Texas, where it's like super high police brutality. Anytime you see like a very high populated city or scarcity as far as income, you're gonna see a lot of police brutality generally. That being said, I've seen police brutality in San Diego and in LA, and it's different, man. It's like traffic stop different, man. They'll pull you out of your car, just start smashing you. Just imagine, man, you're driving your Mercedes, you're going down, you're with some chick, they pull you over, they got some description of you. You match the description, they pull you over, they fucking pepper spray the shit out of you, they take you out.
I'll just quickly because I want, for anybody who's listening who's interested in this topic, I looked it up real quick to make sure we don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
It's Fairy Creek. So there's a forest on Vancouver Island called Fairy Creek.
Yeah.
And there's currently an injunction that was filed by the logging company. They're called, who are they called? Teal Cedar Products. Applied for a 1-year injunction to the Supreme Court to make sure that nobody's allowed to basically blockade or to protest this. So it's currently there. It's been filed. Nothing's been, obviously, they haven't either accepted it or not. But that's the current situation, and so that's what's happening. Fairy Creek blockade. If you look that up, if anybody's listening, you'll get more information about what's going on. But that kind of just leads into our general topic, which is what our boy's talking. So I'll let him continue.
Yeah. So basically. What are the thoughts, man? Like, are we going too far? Because obviously, like you said, the Supreme Court hasn't approved this.
Yes.
So these people being there protesting is just like their right of being there. It's
for
just
now,
like,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So why are they getting pepper spray? Why are they getting beat with batons? Why are they? And like, this is like fucking Canada, dude. Like when I was immigrating, the things we'd hear about Canada. Oh, they're a bunch of like hippies, bro. That's a thought that when we were coming over from Azerbaijan, it was like, okay, America, police fucking brutality. They fucking kill blacks in the streets, shit like that. And then Canada, oh yeah, they're just a bunch of fucking maple fucking tree drinking fucking fruit cups. You know what I mean? So that's the thought that we came in, and now we're seeing the dark side of it, right? We're seeing the black pill.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love for Dr. Evil to chime in here and see if any thoughts on just increased police presence in general in this country, and more, I guess, this province in particular.
I'd have to look at stats for that. I mean, I have anecdotal experience, which doesn't mean much of anything.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're all friends
ship
here.
that in, dude.
Yeah,
ship that
put it
in.
It's okay. We're not gonna hold it against you.
No, I'll fucking say some afterwards too. So don't worry, man. I got some savage shit.
Yeah, anecdotally, I don't think it's nearly as bad as the U.S.
That was kind of my take on it as well.
Yeah, I got pulled over by police last Saturday, like a week ago exactly.
Oh, how's that?
It's fine. I mean, the guy gave me a ticket. some rolling stop nonsense.
Oh shit.
Do you think that it's because you're a fucking white with blonde, fucking dirty blonde hair and fucking light eyes?
The guy was just waiting at the. I mean, it did seem like it was just to
What was he ticket hunting?
generate some extra revenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hot spot. Like it's a dead intersection, and it was a rolling stop. It wasn't even a blatant drive-through, and it's a four-way stop too. So it's not like you have through traffic at any point anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he gave me a ticket, and I was on my way. That was it.
Are
Yeah, it was
you?
pretty
Do you
polite,
feel
but,
when you see a cop, Doctor Evil? Are you more?
I don't really like police that much, though. Just
Hector, what about you?
I don't feel as strongly as Doctor Evil here about police in the sense of I don't really like or dislike. I'm indifferent to the police.
Okay. And let's be honest, I fucking hate the cops.
Oh,
so
you for
we
sure hate
are
the cops. Yeah,
we
three,
are
but
1, 2, and 3.
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
so
pretty-
Doctor Evil is the neutral party here. Okay, so let's have a debate on that and our experiences with that. So Doctor Evil, give us a quick notion of your worst experience with cops.
well, I don't know about worse, but maybe a month ago, I got stopped by them at like the road up to my place. It's a one-way street. You can't turn off of it. I mean, and they had a DUI checkpoint. That kind of bugged me. Like you have to stop and talk to these people.
Oh,
Even though
That's
it's
it?
fine. I mean, I didn't have any issue with them. I was just driving home, but
Doctor Evil, which was like more automated. We just like walk through and like you just get scanned, and then it's like all.
No,
everyone-
I think Doctor
if
Evil.
they have
You're
that,
right.
if they
You're
have a
right.
probable cause and they see you're driving erratically or something like that, or there's something attached to your license plate, or
Yeah.
then I would understand for them to have the ability to stop you. But like this, they hold up traffic, and the thing is, if I had a relative that died from a DUI, then maybe I'd be saying something entirely different. So
Yeah,
I,
right.
I acknowledge that. But again, this is anecdotal, which doesn't mean a whole lot. If you come back to me and show me stats that this reduces fatalities from DUIs by however much, then maybe it's worth it, even though it kind of pisses me off. Whatever. But I don't enjoy it. And other people, yeah, there was a couple in front of me, some family, and they're like thanking the cops and everything. So sort of over the top, polite. Didn't seem very genuine.
Oh yeah, they're like, I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's fake.
Yeah, it's just okay. moving
So
on.
Doctor Evil, you have a really bad memory, man. You have a really fucking bad memory. I don't know if you remember this. This was about 10 fucking years ago, dude. Maybe longer.
That's
maybe
probably
longer.
why.
No, but why do I have it though? I smoke
You
weed
have,
all
you,
the time.
you have a decent memory for pothead.
Dr. Evil, remember when I wore the Boston Bruins jersey when the Canucks lost and we went downtown for the riots?
I was downtown, but I wasn't with you. I remember where
You
I
were
was.
with me. You were with me and you were with Morgan.
Just
Yeah.
this must be something else. I remember specifically being in that Japanese restaurant with Emil and a few other people.
Anyway, long story short, we saw a bunch of riots and people getting pushed by the cops, getting batoned, and there was that famous picture of the couple kissing on the ground while there was a riot in the back. I don't know if you guys remember. This was a long time ago.
Yes, you know what? You know, actually, I won't distract because I.
Go ahead.
No,
I'm
because I was
okay.
gonna say there's a funny thing. Because the anniversary for the riots was this year,
Yep.
2021.
Yep.
They actually found and interviewed that couple because they're actually a couple. Because when people saw that photo, a lot of them like, oh my god, like guys taking advantage of some drunk girl and like.
Please
amongst
put
the
your
riots.
feminist away.
They were an actual couple back
Yeah.
then, and they're like married with kids now. They live in Australia now. Actually, it's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
See, the funny thing is they moved out of fucking Canada, so that shows
He
you.
was already only here on a work visa. Some shit. I remember like they had an interview with him. I found that
Anyway,
pretty funny.
my experience with the cops, dude, heavily against them. I've seen more bad cops than good. Generally, I've seen my friends go in to be cops. We're talking ex-drug dealers that went in to be cops to, somehow take advantage of the system and turn into a fucking dork while they're in the academy. Like legit, man. These guys I know for five plus years turn into fucking dorks, and it's manipulating, man. The older guys manipulate each other, and the fact that they have quotas is insane. Because if there is no crime, then what are you looking for? You're looking to ticket people? That's insane to me. That's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that end of the month and beginning of the month you're trying to match quotas, that's one of the reasons I would never want to be a cop. Like if it was life or death, I'd rather be like fucking dead, man. Like there's no good notion. When I see a cop, he says hello. I don't say hello back. maybe a year ago or something.
You have a problem with authority in general.
I have a problem with authority, but I have a problem with the way they dictate themselves, the way they.
Yeah, I see. I kind of agree with him there. They expect you to treat them respectfully.
Yeah, like
Sure.
I got pulled over, and I've showed both of you guys the video. The
Yeah.
cop is like, so I get pulled over, same kind of area Dr. Evil gets pulled over at.
Yeah.
And you know, we're not. I mean, I've done illegal shit, but these guys don't know I did it. So
Yeah,
why,
yeah.
why are you treating me in a different way? Oh, so I literally I'll go through it. I say, "What's up, big guy?" In my life, in my sense of life, when I say "What's up, big guy,"
Yeah.
it's a compliment.
Sure.
And the guy's like, "Big guy? How about officer?" I'm like, I don't have to fucking say that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I don't have to say that. Have you been?
What did he say? Or did he say, "How about a little respect"?
Yeah,
Something
he
like
said,
that.
"How about a little? How about a little respect?"
Yeah, but imagine if you said that to just some random citizen and they responded that way. That's kind of aggressive.
What?
If for
What
some
is?
reason the cop gets, if they say, so the way the cop responded, imagine a citizen responding to you like that.
If you
So
walk
if
to
you
some
say,
random
"What's up, big guy?"
yeah.
and
Yeah,
some
yeah,
random
yeah,
guy
yeah,
says,
yeah, yeah. It's
"Big
not
guy, how about a
normal.
little respect?"
It's
It's
not
a little,
normal.
yeah, it's a little bit aggressive.
It's aggressive, and it's because it was coming from a smaller, cop. It was a smaller guy. Like he had a partner. His partner was much bigger, so of course he's gonna be like the little rat that tries to get respect. He has that insecurity in him, right?
Yeah.
Well,
A
so,
lot
like-
of these guys are like
'cause-
this.
Well, what's kind of funny is because you said, for me, when I do that, it's normally out of respect, like "What's up, big guy?"
Yeah.
But you were also making fun of him because you very clearly saw that he was smaller in general. You're smiling now. You saw he was
No,
smaller
I'm
in
not.
general.
I'm not a girl. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I was trying to give him a compliment." No, I wasn't. I would just said, "Big guy." Honestly, it was really neutral. It wasn't like anything. But I'm not gonna give you respect. Respect is earned. It's not
No,
given.
no, that's well.
That's bull fucking shit, dude.
Yeah,
Neutral
yes,
respect
yes,
is
and-
given.
yeah, there you go. That's what I was gonna say.
Humane.
Yeah, yeah.
Being humane is one thing, but giving somebody positive respect just because you have a badge or a gun, fuck you, man. That's not why I came here. We flew
The
out of
other
our
thing
country
is
for that.
like at that DUI stop, they stop you, but they also say, "Where are you going?"
Yes.
I mean, it's not your business. But the thing is, if you say that, immediately you catch their attention.
It's okay though.
So I don't do that. I just, answer their questions. I'm polite, blah, blah, blah. But that makes it that much more unpleasant because now I have to put up this facade. And,
And another thing.
why do they have to know where you're going?
Where are you going tonight, Dr. Evil?
I mean, I told the guy, I'm going home.
You motherfucker.
This motherfucker.
Reminds me of that scene in the fucking Goodfellas, man. He's like, go home and get your fucking shine box.
Yeah.
Get your shine box, kid.
Pesci just fucking goes nuts.
Another reason I think you guys are more neutral. I think you guys are closer. I honestly don't think Dr. Evil is neutral. I think it's neutral in this.
I don't know. I've
three
had some
sense.
pretty bad
I was-
experiences.
but
at
he
the,
is-
at the border. So.
I was actually
ahead,
gonna, I was
ahead
actually
with
just
that.
gonna
I got
say
some.
I actually think he's less neutral than you think because of the amount of border experiences that Dr. Evil's had.
I think we share that experience.
He's
in a
had-
different sense.
Yes, yeah, because he's had it on the border side, you've had it on other sides, but
and
he's
that
had
was with U.S. actually. Like
No,
90%
but
of
I've
that
had
was with
I've been fingerprinted every single time I've entered the U.S.
Mm.
bro. Can he even go to the U.S. at this point?
No. I'm saying previous to
Oh
my.
yeah.
you
But I'm
know,
saying at one point, Dr. Evil was going there like weekly, so he was going there like a lot.
doing their jobs, and a lot of the people that go into these positions, I don't know. I'm pretty sure like a large portion of them maybe aren't the most suitable. When I think about who went into enforcement in one form or another, so whether it's border security or police or I don't know, private security.
You guys remember Ishmael?
Yeah, man, they're just still people, and you give people authority and stuff like that's gonna happen.
Not only
So
that, but
I
I
try to
th-
just avoid it as much as
I-
possible.
I
That's
think-
why I don't like.
I think the general like mentality that cops, police academy, borders that they push on their recruits is supposed to be this way. Like it's not an accident. These guys are like it's not like they're just given authority and all of a sudden they're cocks. It's
Yeah.
more of it's essentially breaks it down to like work is telling you to be a
Assertive
cock.
kind of
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you meet up with these people, you have to exert authority. You have to put them in a place that they're like like just like
I understand.
just like there's interrogation techniques.
Sure.
There's techniques for how they approach you at a fucking DUI stop or how when you come across the border, like how they're supposed to, what questions they're supposed to ask you to throw you off. Like my dad was asked, "Do you work for Boeing?" At the fucking border. Like my dad and my mom, they're both going to the border just to get groceries.
Right.
And it's like, okay, blah, blah. And out of nowhere, the guy's like, "Do you work for Boeing?"
Yeah.
My dad's like,
What?
the fuck? He actually heard because second language. He thought he heard, "Where are you going?"
Hmm.
Legit, that's what he heard. So my dad's like, Bellingham. And the guy's like, no. Where do you work for Boeing? My dad's like, fucking no. Like, what are you talking about? Because he was trying to, my dad later on, at least theorized that he was getting pushed into saying that he actually worked in the States so that they could get him on some bullshit like, oh, you've been working in the States, but you declare that you haven't. Some Weasley bullshit like that.
Yeah.
But I just remember at moments, there are things like that where they'll ask you these stupid questions. And our boy here.
They try to trip you up. I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I fucking...
I mean, maybe not everybody. There's some people that aren't like this at all, to be fair. Yeah, and you do come across some police and border patrol, and they're great.
And I'll go to an extreme and say they'll ask you some crazy shit. They asked me when I was 16 years old, do you have any weapons with you?
That's not that crazy.
No. What they meant, they didn't mean guns. They mean like explosives.
How?
At 16 years old, which retard has fucking grenades going by
why did you get the impression they thought they were asking about explosives?
Because they started naming off. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Weapons. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you talking about like carving knife? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's a weapon? Oh, bombs, explosives, C4. I'm like, no, dude. I'm fucking 16. I care about basketball and fucking big booty chicks, man. Like, that's what I care about. Why the fuck would I care about this? But yeah, they'll go that extreme to do it. So 100%. I totally agree with what you guys are talking about. Continue, Dr. Evil.
Your board experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing you can do is avoid contact altogether, and I'd say the same police too. I mean, if you have nothing to worry about, it's still something to be avoided. I've run into a number of people that I know are completely law-abiding, upstanding citizens, and they've run into some big issues with, for example, one guy, the UPS driver that I got to know quite well here.
Oh yeah.
He went into the wrong lane at the border. I think he went into the Nexus lane by accident or something like that. And he's going on a trip with his kids and his wife. It's like a day-long picnic. And they send him to secondary, and then in addition to that, he gets questioned, and they're berating him in front of his children in a really disrespectful way. And, these are 5-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And he was extremely upset with that, because that's gonna be ingrained in their memory now that someone spoke to their father like that, and it wasn't justified at all.
Yeah.
So you hear about things like this, and this guy's just trying to take his family out for a nice day. It was an accident. And you have this lady yelling at him. I remember specifically she said something like, "You're a violator."
You're a violator?
Yeah, he violated one of their, traffic.
Sure.
I can't even call it a law. It's stuff like that.
It's a fucking lane violation. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
He's a violator.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Dude, to be devil's advocate, though, I'll tell you this. These guys are trained based on worst case scenarios. Cops and Border Patrol. That's why for a normal citizen, it's going to seem odd. It's going to seem extreme.
I can kind of see that.
But these guys are like trained to deal with, life-ending scenarios. That's why they're like this. They're so extreme.
I guess it goes back to Vic's point about best advice probably would be just avoid.
That's 8 right there.
Yeah, that's not 8. That's 3.
Pass the 20 bucks.
Fucking count it.
Yeah.
Fucking count it. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose 20
bucks. Are you guys
bucks.
Drinking?
Nope. He is.
Yeah, I just got a beer. Go count it, my son.
Yeah.
Go count it.
Son.
Yeah.
Please.
8.
Please. Dude, the way I give you a fade, it's like I give a fade to a son.
I'm gonna need another.
Fuck
I need another one actually.
All right.
Looking pretty.
I'll give you one, my son.
Pretty long. Best advice.
I mean, the thing is, I don't envy these people whatsoever in their jobs.
No, but I think what you said is right. Where it's just even if you're in a great place, you don't really there's really no value add to interacting in general. You're probably just better off just not. Because what do you gain? Even if you're, like you said, a law-abiding citizen, what do you stand to gain by just talking with them in general? When you become their friends now, they're gonna call you for like drinks and beers.
No, yeah. The best case scenario is that you just you're on your way as soon as possible.
And exactly, and it's nothing added to you, right? Like that. There's almost no way to have a
positive
gain.
You only lose.
Yeah.
You only lose.
Yeah, you only lose or you stay where you were, but even then you almost lose.
And for the average person, it throws a wrench in their day if they have a bad experience. Like guys like me, probably not, but like, the softer you are, we know some guys like, there's some guys and girls where it's like they're so Karen-like and they're so average. Their life has no up and downs that just a simple cop interaction will totally ruin their day and make them like nervous for the rest of the day. So thinking like that, like our moms or something, right? If they have a bad interaction, it's almost like fucking high blood sugar, right?
It's
High
weird.
blood pressure.
My mom actually likes the cops. You know why?
Why is she white?
Yeah, motherfucker. My mom's white.
Why? I'm
Idiot
curious.
here. There's a thing. My mom takes transit every day, right? Twice
Alright.
to work and back. So she's on transit a fucking lot.
She's well known.
And they actually have this thing where you can actually text
Yeah.
transit police.
Oh yeah.
So my mom does this.
Yeah.
And so she's gotten to the point where she feels she has a good relationship with them because when this is the thing, when you text the transit police, you're not actually, and I haven't actually told my mom this, but she doesn't realize that when you text the police, you're not actually texting the police, you're texting some like operator or like dispatch or whatever. So when you text them, the interaction's great, like they're happy, they're all this stuff, and then you realize that that person you're talking with is actually not a cop at all. They're going to tell the cop, oh, hey, by the way, go down to Patterson Station. There's some fucking druggie, doing whatever.
Yeah.
But she's thinking that she's actually talking to the cops, which, to be fair, if you're on a fucking cop line, you would think so. That's not the case at all. So I think that's why my mom has this positive impression of
Probably
cops.
gonna be a good reason. This is a terrible reason.
Well, that's it, right? Because you're texting this line. They're like, thanks for helping
Basically,
out.
a
Or whatever.
misunderstanding.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't know it.
and you being
I was
the
hoping you'd convince me or something. That's stupid.
No, I'm not going to convince you. Like, there's no way I could. Why would I be able to convince you? Like, what? She'll had a couple of interactions
I
with
could be
like
wrong.
Constable Rob or
I
something.
mean, get a cop, get
Sure,
a cop
yeah.
on here. See what he
Sure.
says. Maybe.
Sure, maybe.
change my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fuck that. Listen, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I know. But
She's
I can't
like,
take
I'm
that.
talking to Jesse this whole time.
Exactly.
We're
Basically,
friends.
and I'm not gonna take that from her. Fucking why
Yeah.
would I? It's just like it's a good thing for her. I'm gonna take something good from my mom. No, fuck it. I'll let her continue believing that it's a great time and whatever. Because you know what the thing is, it helps her makes her feel safer.
Okay.
And as a single when she's out going to work, single woman in fucking transit, of course. Why?
What, she's not married when she goes out?
No, but it's like she's not with anybody. She's by herself. I don't know another way. Alone, I guess. Alone. It's weird to say
Yeah.
like a lonely woman, but she's by herself
Yeah.
when she goes and comes back completely. She's not traveling with friends. She's not traveling with my dad. Not with me. So she's not SkyTrain for like 45 minutes on another bus for another 30 minutes, all by herself this entire time. So if I can make my mom feel just that much safer, go.
I think it's up to you to just be like,
Not the cap.
and then just,
Surprise, motherfucker.
Nah,
Mom, this is not the way it is.
Nah, I'm not
These are
doing
just
that.
random fucking people.
not doing that.
You shouldn't have this like false sense of security out there. Maybe like fucking take care of that. But yeah, dude. I think the older you are, definitely the stereotyping goes into it because we're all younger guys ish. We're gonna have our experience of the last 10 years or so, which is younger. Versus like if we ask the same question with our moms, they'd be like, "Yeah, there's police brutality, but I have no actual anecdotal evidence of this happening." But dude, man, cops, when they can get away and abuse you, they do. All the time. They break the laws all the time. And if you don't know that they're breaking a certain right that you have,
Yeah.
they will break it in order to get a confession or something. And I've seen this first fucking hand.
Yeah.
They'll break shit. Like they'll just with no reasons of suspicions, they'll fucking rip your car apart. And if you don't know the law, they'll just go ahead and do it because they
Right.
realize you don't know shit, right? Versus, we've seen all these ones, these fucking, alley cat fucking lawyer guy knows the law.
I'll acknowledge that, yes, sometimes they'll request something and imply that it's an order rather than say,
Tricky.
you have the right to refuse this,
Yeah.
but, and then ask the question, which would be, I think, a much better way of doing it because then people would realize that they don't have to comply.
But then that wouldn't be efficient. So these guys are set for
They'd-
Yeah,
worst
it's a
case
bit
scenario.
deceiving then,
They're
because
gonna
these guys are in
deceive the
uniform and
shit out of
super
you.
assertive.
They would lose an edge there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So, I think end result for the average person, it's probably a good tactic to have the way they're going about it, sneaky and shit, because obviously criminals are sneaky. As a criminal, I was sneaky. That's why I never got caught. So, that being said, I get it. However, for the average fucking person walking around these streets, I'm talking about fucking Vancouver, dude, you don't need to go this far. The criminal minds here are more closed doors, moving keys.
Right.
Nobody's
Right,
here
out
trying
in
to
the
like,
open.
yeah, out in the open. It's not like fucking Miami. It's not fucking LA, dude. This is not New York. You don't need to be this violent, right? And the effectiveness of the cops in the States is not very effective, man. Like you pay those guys what, fucking $36,000. What kind of guys are gonna apply for that job?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I think here they pay them 70 grand or something.
Yeah,
which
we're,
is-
we're looking at VPD plays
Yeah.
pretty well. Starts at like 70,
and
75,
it goes to like 100.
110 or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. After like
So
5
it's not
years.
it's not bad. So they have more of that, and obviously it's competitive because that's a high paying job now. At that point, you know, who would have fucking thought a 6-figure income is going to come from policing of all things,
Yeah.
right? Especially in a high populated amount, whereas like you got, you know, 100 guys and 70 of them are making 100 grand because they're 4 years in.
Yeah, yeah.
But, dude, it's insane that they're fucking these people that were protesting, dude, they were literally holding each other by the elbows.
Yeah.
And they're getting smashed.
Yeah, I saw that shit. It was pretty
Like
nasty.
girls,
Guys-
like, dude, 250-pound fucking 6'2" fucking officers grabbing this chick, smashing to the ground,
guys getting drugged,
kneeing
yeah,
her
dragged to
on
the
her
ground.
fucking neck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, dude, why?
Yeah.
For what? Your constable gave the fucking sergeant general gave you the fucking green light. Like, dude, come on, man. There's no humanity. That's the problem. It's like there's no. They have to balance that, right? That's 100%. And with that, any last thoughts, man?
No.
I don't know much about this situation with the protesters. I mean, there could be stuff going on there that goes completely counter to everything we just said.
Yeah. I don't think like
For the worst. I don't know.
I
maybe
guess
not.
I don't think like it's just fair to say that at all. If maybe if you took a second to look at it and be like, "Yo, actually, this and that," fine, fair enough. But to just like say that out, like blanket statement like that, I don't know. I know guys were there. I've looked into it a bit, and it doesn't seem like it's enough. Even if there was like a worst case, because like the worst case would be protesters bringing weapons. That
Yeah,
would be your
that
worst
wasn't-
case.
That wasn't the case, though.
And there was no recorded incident at
Bro.
all of any weapons being brought in. So
you
at that
just-
point, the next worst thing would be if the protesters were like, I guess, throwing punches, maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Not even, though.
But no, but that would be your next, right?
Yeah.
Like some sort of like physical aggressiveness from the
Right.
protest, which fine, we'll say that there might have been one or two like whatever. But it's not like you had because all the videos
majority,
the videos
yeah.
are all out there, and this is the interesting thing is there's been this whole thing's been video recorded from start to finish on both sides. Actually,
Yeah.
the cops had their own guys filming, and the protesters had like a bunch of journalists on their side also like filming this entire thing, live stream, fucking videos.
And they beat the journalists, too.
Oh yeah, live streamed photos, videos, the whole thing's out there. So yeah, were there maybe some pockets of whatever, maybe, but the worst case wasn't there. And the response that it was met with, I don't think was warranted. I think we'll see more about it as this continues on. I was reading some articles about some of the judges were looking into the injunction and how like valid it is, and they were looking at some of the incidences that played out prior to this whole thing going down. So I don't think the amount of force is warranted at all.
Yeah.
I think it's way too strong, and I think the cops really need to think about what the public's best interest is, because that's really the policeman's job, public
Yeah.
interest. You're not supposed to be bought and paid for by a corporation. You're not supposed to do something just because some guy told you. Like it's the public. You're defending the public interest. That's what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, anyways. And I think that's the best way you can win the public's trust in them in general. Because when you see shit like this, people look at it, even if they're neutral, they'll look at it and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
They won't be like, "Oh yeah, great," they fucking were stomping on some protester's head and like dragging him by his backpack out there. Great, awesome, right? Because this isn't like the riots. The riots that you were at 10 years ago, that shit was fucked up. You had some guys like smashing stores, smash on this, smash on that, lighting things on fire. Like you had a proper riot.
Yeah.
At that point, you're being violent, you're being physically aggressive. Yeah, there is going to be an amount of force that you're going to be met with. It's going to be either
Sure.
the same or greater. So I understand people back then even were like, "Oh, cops were doing too much," but they were beating up. Honestly, if you're putting yourself in that situation where you're amongst guys who are like fucking throwing rocks through London drugs on fucking Granville in Georgia, or if you're like burning a cop's car, yeah, you know what, man, you're probably going to be met with some shit, and I'm okay with that. But we were talking about these protesters trying to just stop a forest from being cut down. Like, come on, really?
Come on, son.
Yeah, right? So, anyways, that's just my take on it.
All right, Dr. Evil. Good talking to you, man. We'll catch you next time.
Go take that shower.
Yeah, dude. Go take that fucking shower. Call that chick, maybe do a couple lines of blow off her ass cap. Who knows, right?
Oh, I don't do that stuff, man.
The night is young. We don't know yet.
people the wrong idea.
Dude, we all know you're a fucking freak. All right, man. Peace out.
See you later.
And I think with that, dude, we're gonna start going out. And it's been a good fucking episode, man.
That was a good session.
That was a good session. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, Funny But Foul, YouTube, Funny But Foul, and Funny But Foul podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking where else, motherfucker. We're out.
Peace.